Hi friends! Today, since my video yesterday was a pretty fun, upbeat one, I'm gonna say some stuff that's a little more serious. Today I kind of wanted to talk about, like, body image and some stuff with that. I, at this point in my life, am pretty confident, and I'm pretty comfortable with my body, but I haven't always been, and I still have bad days, and there are certain things that I wish I could change, or that I'd like to change, I guess, but I think that's true for most people. So I have been fat for as long as I can remember. And I don't want anybody to say, oh, you're not fat, like, you're not this, you're not that. Like, yeah, it's a fact. Like, I'm fat. I'm, according to my BMI, obese. So, according to most health professionals, obese. I'm not ashamed that I'm fat, but I always have been. And I think it's more offensive to say, like, oh, you're not fat, than it is to just own it. Like, to me, when somebody says, oh, you're not fat, it's like them trying to make you feel better because it's a character flaw or something. And I'm like, no, I'm fat. Like, and that doesn't make me a bad person. It doesn't make me a good person. But I am, and there's no reason for you to deny it, and there's no reason for me to. So, when I was little, my mom and my grandma, especially, kind of used food as a reward. And it was awesome. Like, it was just kind of a way that they showed that they loved me. I was pretty spoiled by my grandma and my mom when I was little, and food was one of the ways that they spoiled me. And my parents had a pretty rough divorce that waged on for many years. So during that time, food was a big vice for me, and it continued to be a vice for me throughout my life, rather than just being food and being something that I ate because I needed it to live. If you look at pictures of me when I was little, I look like a butterball turkey, and I thankfully have grown up and grown into myself a little bit, but I have always been fat, and I was picked on in school because who isn't? So, I mean, when you're a fat kid with glasses, then it's pretty low-hanging fruit as far as getting picked on goes. And that really got to me, and I always kind of felt like I'd have more friends and I'd be more popular if I wasn't fat. Which, of course, isn't true, but when you're young, you don't really have any way to kind of put that in any perspective. But as I got older, I started having more and more trouble with my self-image, body image, and how I felt about myself as a person. Because when I was 11 years old, in 6th grade, there was a girl that I thought was really cool, and I wanted to be around all the time, and I thought she was super beautiful, and eventually, I put together in my head, like, I think I have a crush on this girl. Like, I don't think it's that I really want to be your best friend or anything. Like, I think I feel the way about her the way that everybody else is feeling about boys. And my family has always been pretty open and honest about gender and sexuality and stuff, so I wasn't really terribly worried on that front. But it's hard, like, especially because I was so young when I realized. I was like, I just was kind of dumbfounded and confused. And I think even when you're around supportive people and you're coming out in a supportive environment, coming out to yourself and kind of realizing that your life isn't going to be quite the way that you always expected has a big impact on you, and it has more of a toll on your mental health than you'd think. And I told my parents, and they were cool about it, like I mentioned in my other video. So that was in 6th grade. And then in 7th grade, I started telling people at school. And anybody who knows anything knows that middle school isn't a good time, and people are not nice, and everybody's awkward and mean. And it's not great. So telling people that I liked girls was not one of my better judgment calls. And my parents warned me that it probably wouldn't go well, but I felt weird because everybody was having, like, their first relationships, like, of course, stupid middle school relationships, but I felt really weird and different, and I wanted to tell people. And most of my close friends, I don't think really got it, but they were fine. Like, but you gotta keep in mind, too, I was 12 or 13 when I started telling people. Like, I really wasn't very old at all, so it was kind of a lot to handle. So, on top of being bullied for being fat, and I was always kind of loud and outspoken, and I had a reputation for being a little bit crazy because in 6th grade I had started self-harming, and it had spread throughout the school because I told some friends, and there was some drama. And so I didn't really have a very good reputation going in middle school. So then coming out on top of that was a little rough. So in middle school, I hated myself, and it was really hard for me because I didn't have a ton of friends. I was fat and gay and had this whole rumor mill swirling about me, and it was really a hard time for me. 7th grade was really, really hard. 8th grade was a little bit better, and then things started to go uphill in high school. So in high school, by then I was like, yeah, I'm gay, it's awesome, like, whatever. And that wasn't such a big deal to me anymore. And because my high school is really big, it was 5 towns, and like a little over 2,000 people, I want to say. And my town that I went to middle school in is the biggest town, so it made up about half of our grade, but still there was another half of the grade that I'd never even seen before, so I could kind of get away from all of the stuff that people heard about me in middle school, being like aggressive and crazy and mean. So it really did start to get a lot better for me. I met a lot of people that really helped me accept my body. I'm not 100% comfortable with myself, and I don't think anybody is, but there are some days that are hard, and there are some days where you don't feel right, and you feel fat. And I heard something somewhere where somebody was talking about how fat isn't a feeling, and when you feel fat, it's because there's something else going on underneath. And I will try to find that and post it underneath, because she says some really poignant, amazing points. I'm coming to terms with my life and my body, and I lately have been trying to be a little bit healthier and eat a little healthier and exercise and stuff. But it's hard for me too, because not only have I been very overweight my entire life, some mental health professionals in the past have told me I have some obsessive compulsive tendencies. So in my experiences, when I've tried to lose weight, I can do it, but it's also very hard for me to do it in a way that's healthy, because I start being really compulsive about it and restricting calories in a way that isn't healthy, and it's hard for me to come to a middle ground, because I go from overeating and binging and eating junk to being militant about it in a way that isn't physically or psychologically healthy. I'm kind of trying to find a middle ground there, because I don't really care at this point about losing weight, but I do care about being healthy. I have polycystic ovarian syndrome, and basically, you can look it up. I'll include a link about it in the box below, but one of the possible side effects of that is that I'm at higher risk for different types of cancers, and being fat and having polycystic ovarian syndrome puts me at a really, really high risk of developing diabetes. And that's not really something I want to have to deal with. I want to be healthier for me, not for anybody else, and not so I look better or anything like that, but because I want to live a long, healthy, full life. So I kind of want to find a way to change things in a sustainable, healthy way. What about my body image? Like, I never used to wear shorts even because I hated my body so much. But now I dress how I want, and I'm comfortable, and I love my body. Like, it's not perfect, but it's my body, and it's the only body I have, and it does what I need it to do. And I'm so thankful that my body has been as good to me and as forgiving as it has. It's hard some days, but I'm here now, and I'm comfortable with my body, and I'm so inspired by all of the other fat women that love themselves unconditionally and who've been such amazing role models and have kind of paved the way for body acceptance. Because when I was younger, I couldn't have ever imagined being okay with being fat. Like, to me now, it's not, I know that losing weight and being skinny isn't going to solve all of my problems. Right now, I'm happy, and I'm fat, and it's fine, and people love me, and I'm important, and how much I weigh is never going to change that. And I just want everybody else to hear that again from somebody else, because I'm so lucky in my life to have figured out a lot of this as young as I have, and I'm so glad that at 19 I'm realizing this, and I'm not older, and I'm not suffering through my 20s thinking that if I just lose weight, my life will be better. I'm able to do amazing things, and my body isn't going to hold me back, and my weight isn't going to hold me back, and it shouldn't. And nobody else should let their weight hold them back either. You need to be your own best thing, and you have to love yourself. So, yeah, I guess that's it. Bye.